Hello and good evening. Good evening, good evening, good evening, and welcome once again to the GUBA Diaspora Network. So today on the I think I oh okay, here I am back again. Sorry, trying to sort out my echo. Yes, good evening, good morning, good afternoon, wherever you are joining from. Today on the GUBA Diaspora Network seat, we are giving our members, our GUBA Diaspora Network GDN members, an opportunity to share their journey. And that journey could be at the beginning, could be in the middle, it could be quite near the end. Whatever stage you are in your journey in engaging, connecting, investing, doing business, or completely transitioning to Ghana or Africa, we are the organization that helps you try and facilitate those needs. As we know, everybody's journey is different. Okay. Some people just want to peep. What's going on in Ghana? What's happening in Africa? Some people want to dive in literally, where they want to do this, they want to do that, they want to do everything, which is great. Yeah. And then some people are not quite sure, or they're in it and it's not happening the way they want and need guidance, need help. Wherever you are, whatever stage you are at, um, we are there to help facilitate their needs. So my name is Jennifer Djan-Krofa, and I'm the head of Diaspora Engagement and Partnerships for the GUBA Diaspora Network. And the GUBA Diaspora Network simply is an organization. I mean, we're under the GUBA Enterprise brand. So with the GUBA Enterprise, you've got 8 different projects, and the GUBA Diaspora Network is the latest baby, if you want to call it that. We started officially about 2 years ago now. Yeah, 2 years ago, actually. Yes, roughly 2 years ago. And the main aim or the main focus is to support those in the diaspora, as well as those based in Africa or Ghana, that need support in getting things done. So it can be as small as, I don't know, understanding or knowing how to get to a certain place. It can be big, like buying land, buying a property, even bigger and further, investing in different aspects when it comes to Ghana, looking at farming, looking at property, looking at building a factory and developing that. It could be whatever it is that you want to do. And that's one thing that at GUBA Diaspora Network, we try and focus on individual needs. Okay. Since we started the project, we've had a lot of inquiries, a lot of people wanting to join or wanting to engage or wanting to use the services. We have lots of people wanting to do bigger projects. So and what we did is not only extend to individuals, but extend to organizations, to corporate businesses, to charities. Charities are also very interested in engaging with us. And it's all because each of those entities have different needs, either as an individual, a family, a businessman or woman, or a professional coming to look for a similar profession to be in Ghana, or if you want to change your profession completely. Or if you are maybe a corporate business, corporate organization, perhaps based in Africa or based in Ghana, and you would like to reach out further afield to the diaspora community, we can also help facilitate those needs. So we've been working on various projects, and we have been busy. You're probably not getting as many emails from me. It's probably my team that are now doing a lot more of the emails, because either meetings or proposals or whatever that I'm working on, it's really taking my time. But it's been good, it's been positive, and the influx it's been amazing. But but definitely, I mean, there is more to come. And there's more opportunities out there. I mean, it takes all of us coming together to really make sure that we are helping to facilitate those opportunities available. Coming to Ghana, good evening, Honorin. Good evening. Coming to Ghana, it's a different world, I could say that, having been living in UK for many years. Coming to Ghana and actually ingraining into the system in Ghana, it's an eye opener, shall I say? It's an eye opener. But it's the passion, it's the love, it's the desire, that keeps us going, and also the community. Having a community, having like-minded people around you, people that understand, that think alike. Okay, I think that's quite important. But that's a bit about the GUBA Diaspora Network. We are here for you guys. We are here to help and support you. Over recent months, we've had a number of people come to us regarding various trips that they would like to explore. We've had people that want to do trade missions. So if you're one of these people, a business owner, and you would like to travel somewhere on a trade mission, we've had countries, not just individuals, countries come to us wanting us to organize things like trade missions and get that kind of flow with businesses and corporate organizations. And it's great because it shows the fuel, shows the desire for people, organizations, individuals, you name it, communities, to want to connect with Africa more. So we're definitely flying that flag. Okay. So this evening, we have three people, three great people that are doing their thing. Okay, they are passionate, they are looking at possible opportunities, and they understand the value that the continent of Africa has in their lives. Okay, and like I said, we're all on different journeys, we're all looking at how we can do things, as either a family or as an individual or as a business. But these opportunities are very open for us to engage and connect with. So I'm going to now call upon my first guest. And I'm going to say they are a couple. They are a couple, beautiful, beautiful couple. I had the pleasure of meeting them for the first time, I think less than 3 weeks ago. Yeah, less than 3 weeks ago. And I'm not going to say too much, but they came to Ghana, to the continent of Africa, for the first time. And oh my gosh, they've left an impression. It's the heart. Sorry, you guys probably can't see where I'm pointing, but yeah, it's beautiful. And it's meeting with people like that that really keeps you going and really kind of helps you sometimes when things get tough at times, but it really helps you understand why you are in the role that you are and why you do what you do, because there's lots of love out there. There's lots of love out there. So without further ado, I keep using this. Hello, Korea. Yes, big up my sister Korea. Listen, this lady is the one. Okay. She's the one. I feel like bringing her on this show today as well, but she's the one. Listen, this lady, nothing holds her back. She's the goal digger. Okay, goal, GOAL digger. Listen, #1 mentor. I love her dearly, and thank you. I'm going to come back to why I'm thanking her in a moment, but without further ado, I'm going to call on Mrs. Rashida Jones and Mr. Ramon Jones. Hi. Hey, how are you guys?
We're muted. Hey, there we are. Hello.
How are you?
We're doing well. I'm so excited to be here. We're so excited. So thank you for having
Oh, excellent. Well, firstly, thank you for taking on the challenge. I'm not sure how you felt when when we engaged with you and you were like, oh, but you know what? I love your spirit. I love your spirit. You know, we met less than 3 weeks ago, is it? Can't remember. Yeah. And it's like you guys are on fire, man. You guys are ready to roll.
We're really still we are here, but we're really still there. You know what I'm
saying? You're right. You're in Ghana.
We're really still in Ghana.
So. Oh, bless. Okay, Rashida, Rahman, thank you once again for being on. It's lovely to have you guys engage and connect in this way. In a moment, I'm going to allow you to share your story and how it happened. Where did Rashida and Rahman come from suddenly? I know them. How do I know you guys? But anyway, I'm going to allow you to share your story, and you know it's beautiful. I mean, I think the fact that you are both on together, I think it's really poignant and it's important. And you know, as you share your story, so please tell everyone who Rashida and Rahman are. I'm going to hide for a little while and give you guys a spotlight.
Oh, thank you. Well, thank you. Thank you all. Hello, everyone in the virtual land. We can't see you, but we hope you all are having an amazing day. My name is Rashida Jones.
I'm Rahman Jones.
We're the Joneses, and we're excited to be here. I will start by going over who I am. I'm a master social worker, professional scrum master, and a certified life coach. That's a whole lot to say. I do a whole lot all the time. Essentially, I'm really passionate about helping people. And so that led me to those different pathways. I am also a media marketing professional. And so I like to bring all that together in order to really help people gather resources and opportunities to better themselves, their families, and their communities. So that's me.
So for me, I am a technical engineer. I focus mainly on software or app design, but currently I'm working as an artist as well, which was my other love. I'm teaching art to elementary school students in Atlanta, Georgia.
So Jennifer, do you have questions, or you just want us to free flow? Because you know I can go. You're muted.
I was like, free flow. I will ask a few questions. I mean, thank you once again. I mean, it's beautiful. It's great. I can see, I think you're in your office, or I don't know what time it is there for you. But...
Yeah, this is my whiteboard. I design whiteboards, and that's one of my businesses. It's the Focus Goal Board, because I'm all about goals. So yeah.
Excellent. So Rashida Rahman, how did we meet? You know, that's an interest. It sounds a bit like a chat outline, right? But how did we meet? If you could just share that and then go right in.
It's so funny that Coria hopped on right before we started, because we met through Coria, the gold digger. Coria actually married us many years ago. We actually have a 11-year anniversary coming up on the 28th, and Coria married us. And so when she presented the opportunity to go to Ghana, that we were all over it. So we met through Coria, our lovely mentor, friend, auntie, big sister. She's all the things. So that's how we met. You're muted.
I've got to get used to this technological stuff. Yes, so Coria is also a member, and we love Coria. So Coria is a member of the GDN community. She's fallen in love with Ghana, and she recently organized a trip, okay, for a large group to come from Atlanta. I think most of you came, all of you came from Atlanta, right?
All except one was from Wisconsin.
All except one.
It was 22 of us.
Yeah, came over to explore Ghana, touch base with Africa. I think some members of the group had visited maybe 1 or 2 other African countries, but I think the vast majority of the group had never touched foot or touched base in Africa before. And that experience, I mean, I think that is where I really want you guys to share your experience and how you felt and what kind of things you did, and you know, how it's kind of impacted on your lives since returning back to the US.
I go first because she's gonna be for a while. So honestly, before traveling to Ghana, I never really considered myself much of a traveler. I'm glad I had the experience. We had the opportunity to join Korea and the rest of the people on the trip, and through the process, I realized that there were some unanswered questions that I had that were starting to surface and be answered. Being back home, being back in Ghana. So one thing that struck me was that a lot of people said, "Welcome home. You're home. You come home." And for me, growing up in America, with the way society is and the way the history that we have here and so forth, it was always hard for me to consider this a home of sorts, in the way that most people consider a home. But when I arrived in Ghana, it was like that certain piece kind of clicked into place, and it's like, oh, this is where we start. This is where I can begin to define myself in a way that I wasn't being able to back on America. And honestly, I know that there's a lot left to do, a lot more to see, to understand, and come across. And I know this because there's a piece of me left there. For the last 3 weeks or so that we have been here, I wake up on Ghana time. Like, my body has not adjusted back to here.
We've made jollof rice. We're trying. We've attempted several times. We haven't gotten it down, but we are working on it. We eat jollof like every day now, to the best of our ability, to the best of his cooking ability to it.
Ghana jollof, right? Ghana jollof.
Yes, that's the only time we know. No, that's all we know. That's all we know.
Tastes like home.
It's home. I mean, you talk about growing up in the US and now coming to Africa, to Ghana, and being welcomed home. I mean, what were the first sort of things that kind of made you feel that you were home? What kind of things? I mean, because in the past, people talk about the fact that we all look the same. We've all got, we're all brown. You understand? Like, that is a bit of a shock in itself, because a lot of us have been in places where we are the minority. So how was that experience for you?
Yeah, so I'm not even gonna lie. It was legit seeing Bernice and her waving to me, and we had never met, but she knew who I was. Like, she knew my face. She was like, Rashida, like that, like coming off, and like, that's Bernice. Like, I don't know who that is, but this woman knows me, and she's like excited to see me. And then just the welcome, like, for him, this was a surprise trip. He had no idea he was going to Ghana until he was going. He found out on Father's Day. It was literally a surprise trip. Korea was with me from day one, planning this for 6 months. But for me, this was something that I wanted to do forever, like since I was little. I took Black history classes every Saturday. So from very early on, I had this fire to return. Like, I knew that that's where I was supposed to be. I had learned some history early on. And so I had a very strong disconnect from America. And he can tell you, like, we have stories, like a very strong disconnect. And so for me, it was like, oh, when this opportunity came up, I knew I had to jump on it. But arriving and just the air, it was like everything, being there, and like you said, not being the minority, but seeing everyone who looked like me, and just not feeling like I didn't belong. There wasn't a moment, and I know we all have differences, cultural differences, even though we are much the same, right? In many ways, there are still many differences. I didn't feel different. I didn't feel othered. And that was very, very important in this whole experience. There was no othering of feelings for me.
No, I mean, I think that's That's pretty fair. For me, it was pretty much the same. I think just the warmth of the people, and the genuineness of the people. As I was trying to say before, I don't know. There's a spiritual connection or something here for me, or there for me. And I was kind of experiencing it, especially like I said before, not really, as Rashida said, not really feeling a full connection, you know what I'm saying, to my birthplace, so to speak. An interesting thing, I don't know if you remember, but I shared this with everybody that was listening, but I arrived in Ghana on my birthday. So for me, it was a rebirth. It was a full return, a full circle.
Yes.
For
Yes.
me. And my life, was different then, and it is different now, because it changed on my arrival back in the motherland. You know what I mean? So for me, it's been real poignant, and even at this point, I still haven't processed everything.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not sure that but the fact that you arrived on your birthday, wow, 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 wow. Listen, that's something beyond us. That's a purpose.
Yeah,
You understand?
Yeah,
Definitely.
It was ordained. Like, this trip was nothing more than the ancestors working conjuring it all to make it happen. Because it couldn't have lined up any more like perfect, and the timing, and it like. Yeah, like he said, like there's a whole I think there's more than pieces of me. Like, I got like a whole foot and an arm still in God. Like, it's like that kind of chunks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, excellent. I mean, you during the trip. Okay, just to plug in here. So for those of you that have kind of just joined, GUBA Tours in collaboration with Go Travel Chick. So guys, write it down, Go Travel Chick. Make sure you follow our sister Korea and her travel journey. Beautiful, beautiful blogs, pictures, videos, the whole shebang. She does it. And so she came to us, she spoke to us about her desire to really bring people along after having traveled to Ghana, I think about 8 times, should I say? My girl loves Ghana. She's always in Ghana. But this time she came with family, friends, colleagues. And what I felt was so beautiful about you guys is that you weren't, okay, I think some of you may have known each other, but most of you didn't really, you understand? You guys were kind of complete strangers, but I think afterwards it's like you guys are just like family. It's just beautiful. It really is. And you guys keep the fire burning and keep it going strong. So tell me about the places that you visited. I know that you went to, we took you to the central region. We visited some of the castles. You learned a bit more about the slave trade and how that kind of, how was that experience for you?
You want to
go? You mean the slave trade in particular? I mean the slave castles in particular, or all of it?
Yeah, the historical aspects firstly, and then.
For me, I love history, and I especially love like true and correct history. Understanding the full story, because I understand now that in certain areas, for instance, the Africa or Ghana versus United States, there are some things that were left out of the story. I'm saying, the global story, but being able to kind of connect those pieces was a great thing for me from the slave castles. I learned that there were so many people who came through there that this was a good place for me to begin my search for my family, for my roots, and see where they lead to. We went to the Kwame Nkrumah museum, and that was a beautiful place. I learned so much history there that I wasn't aware of. I learned of Kwame Nkrumah's name honestly through rap music. Some of the artists that I was listening to as I was coming up, and so I was aware of those people, but there was no real reinforcement or education, especially through the school system, that told me, who these people were or what they did. We're all familiar with W.E. Du Bois, but visiting the center there also, just an incredible wealth of information that again is not totally available to us, as some of the other information is, readily available, So for me, the historical aspect of it was incredible. It was amazing. It was needed. It was one of those things that I really latched on to, because like I said, I don't know the full story. I have bits and pieces and things, but being able to draw the connection between those bits and pieces, makes a huge difference.
Yeah. All of what you said, all of that. And then, for me, I definitely, this is something again I've been waiting on. Sankofa is one of my favorite movies. And he knows, right? And so I've always envisioned that moment, like going to the castles, like those moments, but being there and being present and really being present is something else. It's a whole nother energy, vibration. Like I physically had a change in my body. Like I got sick, my stomach was hurting, and it was very emotional. It was for me, it was necessary. It was one of those, it was like a rite of passage, like, in order to get through the next part of this journey, to really understand what I'm supposed to do next. You, like Corey said, you have to be there, you have to go. And it took something out of me and left something in me, and it's like when people ask, like I haven't been able to post pictures about, I'm getting emotional about the experience. That people wasn't a trip. Like this was an absolute journey and experience, because it's not for people to just look at and admire, right? It's not like you gotta see the pictures, right? I'm like, it's sacred, these are sacred moments. And so I've been very intentional on not posting those sacred pictures and sacred moments, because they are very much that. And in order for you to have those moments, you got to show up, you got to go, you got to experience it. And so, yeah, it gave me everything I thought I would get plus more. Yeah, took my breath away. It was a lot.
Yeah, I think Abena has kind of logged on, and she's kind of giving you a hey. Yeah, Rashida. Yeah, I mean, definitely. I think there's only so much that you can learn from other people. There's only so much that you can try and understand. But until you're there, until you kind of step to some extent in the shoes, I think, even though I've been there before, I think which one thing that was quite poignant was that, if you recall, when we went to Asin Mansa, the gentleman, the guide, he allowed people to take off their shoes as they walked the path to the river, which is where the slaves had their last bath after walking all the way from the north, or the northern part of Ghana. They came to this river in Asin, where they were given an opportunity to have a wash, freshen up, before they went to the castles and the dungeons. And just, I mean, of course, walking in barefoot for, however many meters doesn't compare. It doesn't compare, but it gives, a little, it's connection. You understand? It allows you to try and emphasize and try and understand better the gravity of what people went through. I think the whole experience, I mean, all the historical sites from the Kwame Nkrumah and what he did for Ghana, and not Ghana, just Ghana, but the people of Africa, how he tried to revolutionize things, but also, you see, for me personally, it's like, it's important to learn and know our history, okay? And it's important so that we make sure that it never repeats itself in terms of the atrocities, the gravity, the masses that went on in those days. And I can't just say those days, because there's elements of it that are still filtering through nowadays. And whether or not it's subtle, it's blatant, but it's there. You feel it, you know it, you see it. Some places, I mean, myself living in UK, I could go to some places, I just know either there's eyes looking at me, either that, whatever, you just know. People don't need to say with their mouth, with the words, but you just know, you feel it. And, again, it's all about learning and understanding and coming together as people, singing from the same hymn sheet to make sure that those things do not repeat itself. But yeah, it is, I think it's an experience that everyone to some extent needs to understand in order to understand how we're going to move on from that and learn from it. But excellent. I mean, highlight some of the other things that you were involved with. Your hair looks nice, by the way, Rashida.
So we'll talk about that. Yes, I got this hair done. And God, I thank you all. Yeah, so we had a braid day. About, I think it was 8 of us went and got our braids done at Silver Hair, Ghana, yes. And it was an amazing experience. The ladies there were so sweet and just patient, and Jen got us food because we were starving. The braid day was wonderful. Again, this was something like just getting my hair done and like there, just having that experience was really, really important. It's like I told my husband, I'm gonna cry when I have to take these out. Like I told when I tell you, I'm gonna cry.
You need to come back to Ghana and get it done again.
We were on a group chat today with Corey, and I'm like, I don't know what y'all talking about. My braids are staying in. I got another about 3 or 4 weeks for these. Yes, thank you, Corey, for putting it in chat. We danced in the rain. I know it sounds silly, but it was beautiful.
I can't even forget that time. That was when you guys first landed, right?
Yes, that was our first night, and even that was like
that was crazy. But they were playing some tunes.
They were
some old school tunes, and you guys were getting down. I was like, hey.
But even that dancing in the rain in Ghana with just beautiful people and people who were dancing with us, like, oh, where are you from? And with other people there that were from the States that were there, that were telling us their stories and how they got to Ghana. Like, so that connection again, like not feeling like we were other, because, here we are dancing in the rain. We just pop up. Corey done pulled 20 of us up to this spot. San Marino, that's just, I said, they're like family. It's like the kindness. I said, we could have stayed anywhere, but to stay in a place where people know your name is something else, right? When you walk in and Daniel's like, hey, Rashida, I'm like, Daniel knows my name, it was just great. I mean, I can go ahead.
Yeah. So for me, I think everything that we were able to touch on was, I mean, so incredible. We did the monuments and the historical things that I mentioned earlier. One of my favorites was the cocoa farm.
Okay.
That experience, it blew my mind because of the whole story behind it, the the way that the chocolate is grown or produced, in Ghana and then shipped out and then brought back, and and there's the high price of it and all the things that go into it, and how it's kind of like a hero story. The people decide that they were going to take things into their own hands, and they came up with a product that's delicious and brilliant, and can definitely compete with what's out there. And so seeing that process go from the cocoa pod all the way to the finished product, as well as knowing the story of how that cocoa bean got processed, and why is it starting here and all of this,
and I would say like literally taking the walk, like walking through
and going through and being able to be a part of that process.
Being a part of the process and like literally having the experience. I don't know anyone else that can say like, I know I went to a cocoa factory, like I know how chocolate is made. I made chocolate. I walked through a cocoa farm, all those things. Like I pulled one from the tree, all those things are like such like I keep sacred is like my word, because it really, those experiences like really matter, and how we did it and who we did it with.
Rafiki Village.
Rafiki Village. I mean, Sam, the bus driver, like driving on the bus was some of the best memories. Like just getting on, our blue bus with the group, and being present. Did we lose? Are we frozen?
Oh shoot. She did freeze.
Can you? I think we're frozen. I think we're frozen.
Yeah.
Jen?
They all froze.
Oh, okay. Thank you, Ivy. Ivy said, so I think we lost Jen. Thank you, Ivy. Okay, so we'll keep rolling because we can do this. Yeah, so everything was amazing. What else? Shopping in Osu. Yeah, shopping was a great experience. You gotta be on your toes. You gotta know how to hustle, know how to negotiate, know what you coming to get. But I loved every moment of it. What else?
That's a good question.
I mean, everything was amazing.
I think we covered everything. You got any other?
All right, so we'll wait for Jen. Everyone stay tuned. Thank you, Ivy. Yes, when are we coming back to Ghana? So we would love to come back. There's another group coming in February with Korea, but we're probably not going to make it. So we're thinking about hopefully May this summer would be ideal. We want to bring we have 2 kids, 2 girls, 9 and 4, and they're really excited to go. And so,
and my mom,
his mom, his uncle, everyone that we've told pretty much now wants to come. So we would love to do like a family trip, like the whole family, but we're looking to come back with our girls probably in May next summer. But I'll be back before then. Let's just say it like that. Let's just say it like that. Ivy, keep the questions coming. What else? So my favorite food was the fish. I don't think I had seafood that tasted as good, like in the jollof, of course. All the food, breakfast in Ghana was really good. I was not expecting like the vast spread. And it was like not all breakfast. So some of the food I would consider like lunch or more like heavier food, but I appreciated like the diversity of the meals, like everything we had, everywhere we went was really, really good. So yeah, Jen, we got you. Ivy got questions in the chat.
Thank you. Oh my gosh, this laptop is just destined. But thank you. So I mean, we're going to move on to Ivy very shortly to try and also get her on. But what would you say were like? I mean, it's probably difficult to kind of narrow it down, but like, I don't know, one each of like a moment, a trip, an excursion. I mean, I think just before I disappeared, with Raman, you were talking about the chocolate experience, understanding how you pick that cocoa pod from the tree and you taste it. It tasted, to me, it tasted citrusy.
A lemon drop, or it was just so good.
And then that is extracted and goes through a process and then becomes a chocolate that we all know and see. And you lot gotta understand, you lot gotta realize that Ghana chocolate is like the best, right?
Yes.
Ghana chocolate, it was nice. It was very nice. And we kind of learned and understood a bit more about the process and what chocolate actually goes through. Because you've got different aspects of chocolate. You've got the bitter side, and then you've got the nice, creamy, smooth side as well. But thank you both very much. I'm not gonna leave you, but please do wait around. I'm gonna call you back on very, very shortly. We're gonna talk a bit more and delve into some other stuff. So I'm just gonna take you off the screen for a moment. You guys have got a fan club going on here. The chat is just
I'll drop my in the chat and my websites and all that. Hey family.
Oh bless, Valerie's on. Oh bless her, Valerie. We love you. We love you. Right, breakfast was off the chain.
Auntie Abina, because she'll check
it. Me too, Ayana. My next 4 journeys are on the works. Oh my gosh. Oh, by the way, I'm gonna put a plug here and I'll put it again later. Go Travel Chick is organizing a next trip, February. Yep. If you want to find out more, if you want to join, if you want to be part of that trip, fab. I'm trying to remember the dates. I think 23rd.
29th, or is it the 8th? I'm extending the trip, Corey. I don't know if it's the 18th or the 29th.
It's in February. If you want to know more, connect with Korea on Instagram, just Korea, or Go Travel Chick. Please, Korea, can you put your email address in the chat and I'll put it out on the screen. If anyone is interested, February the 17th to 23rd, 2024. Okay, 2024. So yeah, if Korea, if you could put your email address out, then I'll put it on the screen for people to be able to connect with you and reach out to you so that they can also be a part of that fabulous trip. But Rashida and Raman, sorry.
Rashad is a twin. He has a twin named Rashad, his twin. So yeah, you conjure that energy. Yeah, yep.
They look wow.
So.
Oh, beautiful. Oh, excellent. We got to bring him along to Ghana too, right?
Yes. He's coming.
Okay, excellent. Okay, I'll chat to you guys shortly. Okay. Hang around though. Okay, so there we have it. We had Rashida, lovely Rashida. We had lovely Raman sharing their experiences of coming to Africa for the first time. And it was an experience. I was privileged to be part of it. Thank you to my sister Korea, who was, the driving force behind it. She's been to Ghana a number of times herself and just fell in love with Ghana. So much so that I think in the last probably like a year and a half, almost 2 years, she's been 8 times. How many fingers of that? Is that 8? Yeah. 8 times, and still planning more trips. So like I mentioned, if anyone is interested in the next trip with Go Travel Chick, so Go Travel Chick, Do reach out to Korea on social media. You can contact us at the GUBA Diaspora Network to find out more information about it. So it's a collaboration between GUBA Tours and Go Travel Chick. And the next trip is happening from the 17th to the 23rd of February next year. So you guys ready? You guys wanted to come, wanted to experience, even if you've been to Ghana before, but you just want to come with a group. You know, they are so down to earth. And I think when I say to anyone that wants to come to Ghana or come to Africa, you've got to have a certain mind towards it. You know, you don't come to Ghana or Africa with the same mindset that you're going to come and you're going to find USA. Come, you're going to find UK, Europe. No, Africa is a completely different ball game, and you will enjoy it, but you need to understand that it's different. It's different. Let go. Let let go of whatever you expected. Just enjoy the ride. And I'm glad that the Rashida and Ramon mentioned it, because this particular group, on the first night that they came, we went out partying. And those that know me know that, yeah, I like to shake a leg here and there, you know, get down on it, all of that. But I'm good or bad, I'm work. But these guys got me out in the rain. You know how Ghana rain is? Ghana rain don't stop. But in the rain, crazy as it sounded, we were just dancing. But it was beautiful, and you know, it was really a great opportunity for people to come together and bond. Okay, so Rashida and Ramon are going to come back, but I'm going to invite the lovely, the graceful, the beautiful Miss Ivy Ajay. Hey, madam, I hope I pronounced your name correct. Not
Of course,
my ancestors will do something.
Yeah, so hi,
Ivy,
Hi.
how are you?
Good evening. I'm fine, thank you. How are
Good.
you?
I'm welcome. Welcome to
Thank
the
you.
GUBA Diaspora Network Seat, where we give you the platform to talk about whatever it is, your journey, how you're connected, what it is that you're planning on doing, anything regarding your whole engagement with Africa. So who is Ivy?
Oh, who is Ivy? Well, thank you very much
Yes.
for this opportunity. Thank you very much for this platform. I'm Ivy, as you've mentioned, and I'm based in the UK. I live in the UK. I was born in Ghana, but I've been in the UK since I was quite young, so I've kind of grown up here, and I am the founder of S.E.A.T, which means my home. S.E.A.T is a prize competition company that essentially runs prize competition and promotes Ghana. So that is who I am in short. I'm sure you've got loads of questions to ask following on to that.
Oh, yes. I mean, when you talk about S.E.A.T, like my home, you know, where is your home? What is your home? I mean, how did that concept start with you guys? How did you where did this come from? Yeah, where did you
Yes,
start?
of course. I mean, like I said, I was born in Ghana, but I was brought to the United Kingdom, where I grew up. And I think the first time that I came when I was 7, and the first time that I returned was when I was 18. So for a very long time, I had not kind of returned home, and I went on that journey going back home at the age of 18, and it was a bit of a culture shock, as you can imagine, growing up here and not being really used to, not having gone back very often. But you know, ever since, I mean, growing up, I was very lucky in the sense as I grew up within the community. My mother, we remained in the community, so I retained the language. So I speak G. I was around the community. I was around a lot of Ghanaians, but there's nothing like connecting to home, I guess, being with you. And you know, after going back after 18, that never stopped. It kind of never stopped there. I mean, Ghana is home for me, and that's how S.E.A.T was actually birthed. kind of passion for wanting to connect, because I think a lot of us, as they call us, children of diaspora, we lose that connection, don't we? Sometimes we lose that connection between us and home. So me being really passionate about wanting to really find a way for all of us to really find a way to connect, because I think it's not everyone that can relocate or wants to relocate. I think I heard you say a lot of the times that there are some that kind of sit on the background and watch kind of what's going on. There are some that actually go on the journey, you know, plunge and go and do it. There are some that go through the transition, and I think we all connect in different ways, isn't it? Because like I said, it's not everybody that transitions. It's not everybody that moves back home, but we all have our ways that we connect back home, whether it's, you know, buying land, investment, even just visiting regularly. We all have our ways, different ways of connecting. And that's what really S.E.A.T kind of aims to do, really. Although we're running our prize competitions, and for those that are not familiar with it, prize competitions essentially, think of it like a raffle, essentially, where everybody kind of plays. You buy a raffle ticket, all goes in a bucket, and then at the end there is a guaranteed winner. But this is done online, so think of a raffle that's done online, and it really, the raffles are done to promote Ghana, to promote Ghanaian products. So at the moment we are running a prize competition for someone to win a holiday, a package holiday to Ghana for 10 days from the 26th of December to the 4th of January. And as part of that package, and they get flights, fully paid flights, accommodation, they get a private driver and a private chef. So they get that experience to go and really kind of go to Ghana. And it's for everyone to enter. It's not just for Ghanaians, it's for anybody that wants to travel to Ghana. So S.E.A.T aims to use this platform to really show off Ghana, encourage everyone to, you know, come to Ghana, invest in Ghana, build in Ghana, or really connect.
Yeah, that's fabulous. I want it. It's funny. I'm living in Ghana, but I want that prize.
Yes, but you want it. Yeah. So
no, that's brilliant. Yeah.
So,
I mean, when you think about it, December is quite peak time, isn't it? 26th to the 4th. That's when all the action happens in Ghana, right? Yeah, and lots of people around, lots of events, lots of, you know, all kinds of things happening. And you know what, I think what you guys are doing is a great way of encouraging people to want to do stuff and come to Ghana even more. Do you always provide, is there always a holiday that you provide, or, you know, is that always a prize, or is there a different range of prizes?
Okay, that's a very excellent question. This is our first competition, so we're starting with the holiday. We've got so many things coming up. I'm really excited. I can't wait to, you know, kind of.
I'm excited for you
tell
too.
everybody about it. But we will be running our holidays competitions regularly. At the moment, this is our first holiday competition that we're running. So the flights are leaving from Heathrow. So it really is for people based in the UK or within the surrounding countries. However, I have had some people from the USA. Can I enter? You can enter. Anyone from anywhere essentially can enter. But if as long as you can find your way to Heathrow for the 26th of December, you can enter. But definitely, as time goes on, our next competition will be an open ticket where we will be giving people from anywhere. So wherever the winner wins from, their journey will start. So for instance, if you're in Canada, if you're in the US, your journey will start from where you are, where the winner is. But for our very first competition, we based it in Heathrow, and we're really wanting to promote Ghana, like I said, so promoting Ghanaian brands, promoting Ghanaian businesses. So we're going to be running competitions where people can even win like experiences in different resorts and different things like that. So I can see Korea saying, wow, I can't wait to connect with Korea too. I'm really excited for us to kind of maybe work together. So loads of exciting things coming up. So it's not just holidays, to answer your question, and I'm really excited. So I want everybody to head over, you know, check us out.
My girl Corey is even saying she's gonna walk to Heathrow for that.
Come.
Classic. I mean, I think it's great. I think it's good, and you know, there are lots of people that still do want to come and visit Ghana,
Absolutely.
visit Africa. And you know, these can you know, possibly be the stepping stone that they need to get there. So in terms of entering, what's the process? How do I get involved? How much, like, how does it work? Is it like the lottery that you've got to, you know, put, I don't know, $1, £1, 10 cities, whatever, and then you get kind of, and how does the prize draw happen? Am I allowed
Okay,
to take
so
part? Even though I'm
no,
in Ghana.
unfortunately, because you're in Ghana, you can't
Oh,
take part. Yes, and these
oh.
are, it's because of some regulation issues. But we are coming to Ghana. We're actually working on coming to run different competitions within Ghana. But at the moment, because you're physically in Ghana, you won't be able
Oh, my
um,
sister, my
to
sister,
take
my
part. And we don't want to
sister.
get you into trouble.
Oh,
So
I'll
there are
find
some
myself
prizes.
somewhere. No, no, come.
Calm. If you fly yourself back, you can play, and then and then
Oh,
go
that's
back. But
classic.
just to answer your question, it's a really simple process. So unlike a lottery, because you know with a lottery you win and you put your numbers, there is no guarantee that anybody would win. But the ways the raffles work is that there's one guaranteed winner. Somebody will win the prize, no matter what. So it's very simple. You go over to our website, which is www.me-fie.com. And very simple process. You literally just have to register, verify your email, and then you enter. So there is a price to enter, just like every other raffle. And it's starting at just £3, just £3 per entry. We do have different bundles. So you can have £3. You can enter 3 times for £5. You can enter £7 for £10, and so on and so forth. So you can choose how many times you want to enter. Of course, the more times you enter, the more chances you have to win. So once you go through the process, you pick your bundle and you make your payment, you'll get your ticket numbers on your dashboard, which you can access through our website, and also your ticket numbers will also be emailed to you, so you have record of that. And what the draw for this particular competition is on the 21st. Sorry, the competition ends on the 20th, and then we do the draw on the 21st. So it's done live on Instagram. So it's done very transparent. Everybody sees what's happening, and we use an independent random generator. So it's something that's independent from us, so that it's done in a transparent way. We enter everybody's tickets, and then the random generator selects the lucky winner. And also, just again, for transparency and trust, you can, because it's an independent website, you can literally go on and check whether your ticket numbers were entered if you wanted to do so. So everything that we do is transparent. We are a regulated business within the UK. So that's just to answer your question. But if you have any other questions, we have our website. We've got our FAQs on our website, or you can simply message us through our contact us button on social media, and we'll be happy to answer any of your questions.
Oh, wow. So how long, I mean, you said that this is your first competition. How long has this been in the making? Is it something that you guys have been planning for years? Like, how do you get it done?
Well, this has actually been, it's literally been sitting with me for God knows how long. And you know how, when you're starting anything, I think when you're starting any business, taking any step, it's the kind of, stepping out and really, going for it. Something that, like I said, it's something that I'm really passionate about. I love Ghana, always wanting to find a way to really give back and make a difference to Ghana. And this was just a fun way to actually facilitate that process. So although we are running prize competitions, like I said, the main purpose of it is really to promote Ghana, promote Ghanaian brands. Like I said, talk about relocation, talk about, house ownership. So it's really just kind of working with like brands like GUBA. That's why I was quite passionate about joining this platform, just kind of really bringing everything together. So it was just like I said, it's been sitting with me, and this year I took the step. I was like, this is the year, this has to be done. So this year was born a long time ago, but we gave birth, I guess, to it this year. So we've been running, competition has been running since, yes, competition's been running since July. This particular competition, for the packaged holiday.
Oh, nice. Oh, wow.
Ghana. Yeah.
It's I mean, for me personally, I think it's lovely seeing Ghana as, I mean, I remember growing up in UK. What was that holiday program? There was always a holiday program where they used to promote like different places all over the world. And I was always like, oh, Ghana, how comes Ghana's not on there? How comes Ghana's not on there? But, you know, I mean, that was then, but in my eyes, in my view, Ghana is there and even beyond because, you know, we
Absolutely.
have everything. I
Absolutely.
mean, we used to come to Ghana as holiday and, you know, go to the beach, hotels, all the nice stuff. And I'm like, though, even Christmas in Ghana is wow.
Yes.
Like I mentioned in the chat with Rashida and Iman, I'm not really party. Well, you know, not like I used to be anyway. So sometimes I try and hide. I try and hide. I mean, I try not to get into a crowd unless I have to for work or meetings or whatever it is. But Ghana is just, as they say, lit at
Yes, it is
Christmas.
at
But it
Christmas.
has its consequences. The prices go up, traffic,
Of course.
the usual.
Of course.
But
Of course.
yes, as Ghana at Christmas, yes. And
Yes,
and
absolutely.
the Beyond the Return list of events is out. It's out.
I've seen. Oh my God, it looks
Yes,
amazing. Yes.
yes. GUBA Diaspora Network have got 2 events. We've got one on the 21st of December and one on the 2nd of January. More information will be coming out. 21st is the networking cocktail evening. The 2nd is a conference, Diaspora Conversations. But Christmas in Ghana is the place to be. But well
Absolutely.
done. I mean, Ivy, I think what you guys are doing is great because when you think about it, it's kind of in line with where Ghana wants to go. Ghana wants to promote itself as
Absolutely.
number one tourist
Absolutely.
destination, you know, destination for business and investment. You know,
Mhm.
it's also, you know, the whole beyond the year return, people coming back and
Absolutely.
people actually doing stuff in Ghana. And in order to actually come back and do stuff, you need to be on ground. You need to see what Ghana has to offer. And you
Absolutely.
guys are helping us along the way. So well done for that. And thank you for reaching out to us as well in order. So when are you in town?
I will actually be there. We'll be there to look after the lucky winners, because it's actually a trip for the lucky winner gets to bring somebody with them. So it's actually a trip for 2. When you
Oh,
win, you get to bring your partner, friend, whoever it is that you want to bring along with you.
okay.
And from for those dates where, like I said, you get, you know, private driver, accommodation at Embassy Gardens. You get a private chef. We take you to 2 tours and two events. So I
Yeah.
will also be in Ghana to look after the lucky winners. This December, so I can't look. I'm looking forward to it. So hopefully
Yeah.
I'll see you at the GUBA event.
Yes.
But I
Yes.
think
Yes.
just to
Yes.
kind of add to what we've already said in terms of, you know, Ghana is amazing during Christmas, but we want to take it beyond that. We want Ghana to be amazing
Yeah.
every month. We want people coming into the country because it does have its positive effects on the country. There's people spending money within the country, creating jobs, encouraging more people to come. Like I said, because, you know, you've got to be there. There are people that maybe just need to take that step, come, have that experience, and then it lights up a fire in you, doesn't it? To, you know,
Yeah.
want to do something within the country. So this is all just to really add to the very good work that people like yourselves are already doing, and really promote Ghana. Like I said, promote brands, promote Ghana every month, Ghana to the world.
Ghana to the world, indeed. Excellent. I mean, but you know, I mean, I guess what you're doing already, it's more like an investment in Ghana, isn't it? And like you said,
Absolutely.
it's not just for the Christmas period because
Absolutely.
you are number one helping raise the profile of Ghana, but also bringing money into Ghana.
Yes.
You understand?
Yeah.
People come in,
Yes.
they spend money, it helps the economy, helps create jobs.
Absolutely.
You know, the cycle that's out there, and this is what we need more of. Definitely, and definitely we'll hook up around Christmas or whenever you're in town. I think it'll be good to
Definitely.
see and know more. And also, I guess I mean, although this is your first raffle, I guess there's more planned as well, and then I think we could talk about that as well.
There
Yeah,
is.
it's good.
There is more planned.
It's,
We're actually going to release one hopefully next week, which is actually for people that are already coming to Ghana. We're going to be raffling off experience for them at a resort. I don't want to give too much away. I want it to be a surprise. So because we've been having a lot of people
you can
reaching
tell
out
me.
to us and saying, they're saying, Ivy, you're only doing something for people like that aren't already going to Ghana, like the holiday. They're like, what about us? We've already bought our ticket, we're going to Ghana. What about us? So we've got something in store for them. Don't worry, I'll tell you, me and you will have conversations,
Yes.
on the backstage.
Yes,
But, we've also got something coming. And also just to mention that, what we want to do is part of the proceeds that we raise from the raffles that we carry out, we're really hoping to be able to raise money to do some really good work in Ghana, because like I said, I think you mentioned it before, there's all this loveliness and all this beauty that yes, we do want to promote, but there is the other side, of things that, we have got things that we do need to address. And I think especially us in the diaspora, I think we've got a very specific part to play. And I think, Mifia really is very passionate about wanting to give back to Ghana. So we're going to be hopefully working with some charities, very specific ones that work in maybe building structures and wells and things like that, to really kind of give back to Ghana. So we're really excited about that as well. So we're asking everyone to get behind what we're doing and support Mifia to make Mifia our home better.
Excellent. Thank you so much, Ivy. I'm actually going to keep you on the screen, and I'm going to bring back on Rashida and Rahman. So I think what you touched on, Ivy, is something that I also want to delve in, because I do believe. Hey, Salon Titi, welcome. I do believe that if you want to call it the diaspora, has a part to play. Not only Ghana, Africa as a whole. I mean, when we look at our history, to some extent, it feels as if we missed out many years for whatever reason. But now is the time for us to kind of really open up our eyes. And for me, it's about not just coming to Ghana for Ghana's sake, even those that come at Christmas to party and joy, but what are we implanting in Ghana? What are we, helping to build? What are we, what is our input? You understand? Is it just a party, have fun, blow loads of money? Yes, the money coming is good, but then what else? Yeah. What after that? And I think it's more about building and working together. I mean, you've touched on the whole give back scenario. And I think this goes to also both Rashida and Rahman. In terms of giving back to Ghana, what would you say you would like to do or have experience or feel that you would like to work towards in the future?
Yeah, I love this question because I'm a social worker. So my baseline is like humanitarian work and helping people. And so that's really where I'm at. I want to be able to utilize my social work lens, my life coach experience, as well as, my media and marketing skills to really empower people and communities. I have a nonprofit called Black Girls Coaching, where we go into schools, where we coach BIPOC communities with a focus on, women and girls, with the goal being to empower those in the community to really reach for whatever resources, dreams, goals that they have. I'm a firm believer that you are not a product of your environment. Sometimes you're a product of your choices. And sometimes it's also about having access to resources and having access to opportunity. And so being able to provide access, whatever that looks like in Ghana, utilizing my skills would be what is like the dream. Like if I could pack up all of this, everything I know. Right now I develop programs for the Urban League, which is the oldest civil rights organization in the US. And so I'm a program developer, and I develop programs for young adults 24 and under. So programming, meaning any type of program, I can put together a full, whether a 1 week to a year to a 5-year scope of programming in detail. And so being able to like utilize some of those skills to help develop programs and initiatives would be something that would be ideal. Like that's where I'm at.
I think that's good because I guess when you look at programs, it's also it's training, it's imparting skills, it's
Right.
helping develop people, it's upskilling, and in that sharing skills and knowledge, it's also helping people to do something for themselves. Also, eventually, it's about sustainability, isn't it? And making sure that you're passing off your knowledge onto others that they can then in turn pass on to others as well. And I think through programs, programs probably not just a one-day activity, but over a period of time, they can help develop themselves. I think that's good. I think that's excellent. Thank you. And Ivy, what would you say?
I was just gonna I'm also a social worker actually, Rashida. Yes.
Hey,
I am.
No, listen, we have to talk because I am so excited about international social work. Ivy, I'm hugging you.
Yes,
Okay,
I'm hugging you back. And
I have not
hearing you
met.
say that is just amazing because we have I'm actually part of the Ghanaian Social Workers Union based in the UK, and we work with. So Rashida, we need you because we work with an organization. We sponsor an organization called Street Children. And they are, dying for expertise in our field. And, sometimes there's only so much we can do. They're looking for people to run programs for young people, for parents, teaching them to go back to work, teaching them parenting, different aspects, children with disabilities. There is a long list of things. So I'm so excited. When you were talking, I was just waiting.
I'm adding you to my whiteboard. Once you're on the whiteboard, it's happening.
Yes, it's definite. Hey, I made it to the whiteboard. So I can't wait, Rashida, for us to, to have a discussion because there is a need specifically for social workers and especially programs around really empowering parents. So I can't wait. I'm really excited.
So excited.
That's lovely.
Yes.
Oh, that's lovely. It's great. I feel jealous. I want to be a social worker too.
Well, we will train you. Just come along. We'll train you. We'll train you.
Well, I'm halfway there. I'm a teacher, secondary teacher, so more or less with you guys all the time anyway.
As social work,
we do a lot of training.
The heart. You got to have the heart first.
Absolutely.
Everything else is easy.
Yeah, there's lots, and you two definitely connect. I think it'll be fab. It'll be great to connect and kind of share experiences as well. And I guess together, there's lots that can be done in Ghana because sometimes, deviating a little bit. Sometimes when we talk about social welfare in Ghana or social care, these are kind of things that are quite big in places like the UK, the US, but in Ghana, how is social care? Like what is done? Of course, in Ghana, in places like Ghana, it's very much about the family, the community, helping to support, but then that support is not always done in the correct way. Of course, sometimes there's a lot of stigma over certain things, certain conditions, certain mindsets or attitudes towards certain things, and also the way it's dealt with sometimes can be questionable. And it's all about educating each other, educating families, educating leaders, educating the whole community in order to know how and what's best in order for us to work well socially. But excellent. We're going to start rounding up very shortly, but just one or two last questions. So again, back to Rashida and Rahman. Your golden nuggets. you know, I keep highlighting the trip that we all took, the experiences, apart from the chocolate factory, which you've mentioned. What would you say, and this will come to either Rashida and Iman, so I want you both to answer. What would you say was your one thing that you remember or that you took away from your experience in Ghana that you know was, I don't know, a whole life changer? Yeah, for you guys.
Okay, so for me, I go first. You mentioned it earlier about taking off when we went to Asin Manso, and Kofi allowed us to take off our shoes and all of that stuff. When I found out about actually being able to come on the trip, that was like the thing in my mind. I said, when I get there, I need to touch the earth. I need to touch the water. I need to, you know, breathe the air. To do the energy exchange, breath exchange, all of that stuff. When we got to Asin Manso, they put the sarasi leaf around our necks, right? And he said it was to remove the negative experiences and things like that, right? So for me, it was a thing of being, you know, really in the moment and considering the weight of the events that happened there and things. And you know, I took off my shoes to do the walk, to feel the energy, to ground myself in that, and you know, going down into the water and everything. And then we did the whole ceremony at the water, and he said turn around, and we turned around and it says, you know, return, you know. And you know, it was all of those little things along the steps, but that's like, you know, one major, I know, memory or whatever that just sticks with me, you know.
Yeah, because it is about the return, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, because I mean, I think as part of that, one of the poignant things is where when we go to the castles, they talk about the door of no return. You know, that smallish hole that people kind of used to be squeezed out and just literally gone to the sea or whatever, and that was a door of no return. So the whole movement, if you want to call it, needs to be focused on the return, and that return is what kind of helps bridge the gap. So yeah, definitely. And Rashida?
Yeah, so
Thank
you
you
said for me, it was as profound and as simple as landing and knowing that I had arrived. Like this, like I can't really express how this has been something I've been planning without funds, planning when I was broke. Like it's been on the vision board, right? And that's why I love Corey, because she's, you know, she's the gold digger, right? But really being persistent to the goal. And Corey knows it was some things happening in between getting to Ghana, right? That just popped up. But I was unwavering. Like, so for me, it was like the return was so important. And whatever happened when we got there, like whatever we experienced, right? Like I had no agenda but everything, right? Like I didn't need anything but all of it, right? Because just being there was enough, right? Literally getting off the plane, and you know, he was trying to contain me. Like I was so like when I locked eyes with Bernice, I knew she was my person. You know what I'm saying? Like I knew she was my person. Like that's who I'm supposed to be here to meet, right? And it was like just everything, driving and, you know, just seeing the diversity of the people and just seeing how people move, like it was just the air. I mean, like it was all of it, you know, and yeah.
Oh, that's beautiful. I mean, I think also personally, it's, you know, in Ghana we talk about Akwaba, the welcome, the hospitality, the excitement, the stairs, and I tell people when they come to Ghana for the first time, Ghanaians stare. we stare. And the thing is that we stare, not just take one look and then turn our face. We stare, we follow you wherever you go. But don't worry about that. Nobody's coming to rob you or whatever. They're just intrigued. They're just intrigued. When I used to come to Ghana, you know, I would always try and blend in. You know, I would go and get my chaliwati flip-flops. I would just, you know, just try and, you know, everything in Ghana is slowed down, right? I would try and just, you know, that slippers and whatever, but boy, I don't know what it is with our skin. It's like once you've been out of Ghana for a period of time, they know, people know. And that's just getting, you know, that's just the way people are. You know, it's a matter of just getting used to it. But generally, I mean, Ghanaians are very hospitable, welcoming, chilled people, relaxed people. I just don't get involved in politics talk. That one, leave it for another day. But chilled, you know, and happy. And I think this is what I love about Ghana. You know, you can't be bored in Ghana. I don't know if that makes sense. You can't be bored. You just go and sit outside your house, chat with whoever's walking around. Good afternoon, good evening, you know, all of that. And like, people are just around. I mean, I'm in the office at the moment. As I leave the office, at whatever time, there's always people outside, just out on the street, just chatting, having a drink, you know, there's always stuff going on. And that's the community aspect. And sometimes, I can say this in UK, sometimes, you know, we miss out on that. It's not the same. You know, UK, of course, US has its own issues. You know, UK, sometimes you have to kind of look over your back. You know, I don't want to kind of bring a negative, but you know, you get scenarios, and unfortunately, people get attacked, things happen, and it just brings a whole different feel. So, you know, that kind of natural community engagement to want to talk or engage with people, everybody's just by themselves doing their own thing because you don't know what the next person is going to pull out, a knife, a gun, or whatever it may be. And Ghana, please, listen, if people fight, it's their bare hands. Don't do none of those weapons. They ain't got time for that. Or the mouth.
It's so funny that you say that because one of the things we noted when we returned back to the States was, so we bear arms, right? Like, you know, in the States, that means you have a gun. But one of the things that we noticed is that in Ghana, we didn't see anyone carrying weapons, right? Or walking around. You know, we felt so safe, right? Just in general, you know, being just like, and then returning home, I don't feel as safe, right? Or returning here, because I don't say this is home anymore. I'm just visiting America. But I don't feel as safe in general. And so just noticing just that aspect that you highlighted, even that, like that peace, like just, you know, it's just a sense of peace I can't explain that was present. And now I'm like, I need to get back there. Like, this is not, I thought I had some peace before, but you know, it's different, you know? And so.
Yeah, it is. And Ivy, what would you say in terms of I can't remember if I've spoken to you or not. I can't remember. But giving back, have we talked about that? Have I asked you that question?
I think we've kind of touched briefly on that. And you know what I was saying about, you know, Mifi, at least as a company, being really passionate about giving back to the community through some of the proceeds that we will raise from the raffles. And like I said, we do, like, individually, like I said, we part of the Ghanaian Social Workers Union. We do regular workshops in Ghana. So myself and Rashida definitely will touch base and give back in our own way. And there's so many ways to give back. I think some will give back in training, some can, you know, some look after families, some sponsor, you know, individual families. I know people that don't necessarily give to charities to sponsor, they've taken individual families on, you know, for themselves, and they, you know, they help to relocate them, they help with, you know, feeding, clothing. So people, you know, everybody has a part to play. And I think it's really important that, you know, find where, you know, what suits you best, depending on where you are in your journey, and just find a way. Nothing is too small, any little way to give back. Like, you know,
No, that's great. That's great. I mean, so the last question to both groups, both parties, is words of advice. Words of advice. So, starting with you, Ivy, this time, having engaged with Ghana probably quite a few times, having now put on this competition to help people connect and do their thing in Ghana. What would I mean? Sometimes I think sometimes we become, I won't say immune to it, but it's like we don't realize how different Ghana is to other parts, like the Western world. So we kind of just get used to it. You know, we're used to the bumpy roads and, you know, whatever. We're kind of used to it to some extent. But to somebody that's never been to Ghana, never been to Africa, what word of advice would you give them?
I mean, just very quickly, I think you touched on that before, is that, you know, having the expectations, like you will come to Ghana, like I said, that, you know, there are so many beautiful places. There's so much to celebrate. But we, like I said, we do have our issues. There are, you know, even to get to some of the waterfalls, like when you're going to tours, to get some of these beautiful waterfalls that you see, the road to get to the waterfall, you know, so managing expectations. And I think just being prepared for it, because if you come with a mentality that, oh, we're going to go here and it's going to be smooth and we're going to do this, people, you know, things don't always go that way. You might order something, you might be sitting there for, you know, some time before you get your food. So, you know, having those things, you know, in mind. And of course, I think I don't think I think you, no matter how many times you come, you don't get immune to it, because when you come back, you get used to the system of how things work. Everything works. But when you go back, it's like you have to remind yourself that actually I can't get this fast. This doesn't necessarily go like that. So just being prepared. But you know, step by step, we will get there. And those are the things that we really want to, like I said, give back and contribute to, make a difference, try and change some of these things.
Yeah.
So manage expectations, in short.
I mean, Valerie has highlighted, and I think we were talking about this when it comes to the, you know, looking over your shoulder in some countries that you're in. There was no news about gunfire or shootings in Ghana. Nope. I have to say, I think, I can't remember how many years ago it was now, but some time ago, we had an issue with armed robberies. I mean, it's few and far between. You hardly hear it. It's, you know, if you do hear about it, it's big news. You understand? It's like, wow. Because it hardly happens. But I mean, of course, not to say Ghana is completely safe, but you know, you don't hear, like, it's not regular news about gunfire or shootings. Nah. Who's got a gun in Ghana?
Countries 100% safe, but Ghana's pretty safe. Yeah.
You don't get that kind of stuff. And hi, Colin. Good evening. Another member based in UK, coming and doing his thing in Ghana, and I'm coming for you, Colin. He's going to be on a GDN seat, but in his own time. So Rashida and Rahman, over to you guys. What would you say the advice to somebody that's never been to Africa? Like, what is your key advice to them?
I give you something that I did. Well, for me, I think trying to learn the language of the region or the country or the area that you're going into. We had the opportunity and a blessing to be able to take tree lessons before we arrived in Ghana. And let me tell y'all, even though I didn't know a whole lot, it gave me the greatest pleasure to know just a small bittiest, you know, be able to correspond in some kind of manner with people, you know, who are from the country, you know what I mean? Because you know, the English is different, you know. You know, the accents and the accent on the language or syllables or whatever is different. So You know, sometimes I believe that they didn't understand me and I might not have understood there, but you know, just to wake up in the morning, like we would go up to the bar in the morning and I say at the same, and you know, they would respond to me, and I was like, yes,
yes, yes,
you know,
yeah, yeah. And I think, to be honest, I think the fact that you've come to a different country and you're making an attempt to learn the language, that's enough to start a connection. You understand? It's like, don't matter how it comes out, but the fact that you're trying to, you understand, that in itself is a winner. And I think it goes for all of us generally where we go. But keep it up, keep it up. I think I need to take a word of advice myself. I need to speak a lot more with whatever accent that I have, but people love it. People love it. I mean, in the office, I say to them, we try to do Treat Tuesday. Listen, hardly any work gets done that day because but we try. But anyway, guys, gotta love you and leave you. Thank you so much. Today's been wonderful. It really has been an eye-opener. Lovely to engage with you guys once again. And for those of you interested, do not forget, Go Travel Chick.
Yes.
The next group is coming 17th to the 23rd. Check out my sister Korea and what she's planning on doing. Also with GUBA, we've got the GUBA Awards 2023. For those of you that don't know about the GUBA Awards, Google it. But GUBA Awards, where we celebrate, we recognize, we award people within the African diaspora community or those based in Africa that are doing great things for the continent. It's all about celebrating Africa. GUBA, for those of you that do not know, GUBA stands for Grow, Unite, Build Africa. So Grow, Unite, Build Africa. And we've got our GUBA Awards back in London. In it. We're going back to London and it's happening on the 5th of November at the Grosvenor Hotel. Sorry, I'll get the details. But further details can be found on www.gubaawards.co.uk or www.gubaenterprise.co.uk. It's going to be a fab time. We've also got our 2 events in December on the 21st of December, which is a cocktail networking evening, and on the 2nd of January, which is the Diaspora Conversations Conference. We get all the regulatory bodies, the people that know how systems should work in Ghana on the panel. But do reach out to us. You can contact us 024-515-6705 or email us at diasporatransitionnetwork@gmail.com. So guys, thank you for a fabulous evening, and keep that connection going on. I could hook you guys up or find a way to get you guys together, and then we'll take it from there. But thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank
Enjoy
you.
the evening.
Bye. Take care.
Bye guys.
Bye.
Bye bye. And thank you to the audience. Bye bye.
Yes. Thank you.
Thank you.